Hey guys, I'm back for part 2. Let's see how it goes. So I'm trying to upload part 1 because I think if you go over 3 minutes, it takes a little bit longer. But it still does the captions, which is what I want. And so what I mentioned in part 1 was that there was a particular project that keeps coming to mind that really, I think, would help someone in terms of mindset, pricing, value, worth. And I think, like, when we're used to being the person who's doing the physical groundwork, we may not understand all of the players on the board. And I think as an entrepreneur, we get to decide what position we want to have on the board. What I mean by that is, let me jump into this first. When I got my first brick and mortar after my layoff, because I was laid off in 2009, I had just had Kylie, and Bryson was 3 turning 4 at the time. And I remember paying my landlord rent. And I remember one day I sat there and I drew out a pyramid, and I wanted to know where I was positioned on that pyramid. And what that meant was, in the pyramid, if I was paying rent for a space, then I was paying a landlord who had either purchased the property, right, or was still paying on the property. Then there had to be someone that built the property and sold the property. Maybe someone purchased the land and built it, right? And so I just kind of looked at that pyramid and I decided where I wanted to be eventually on that. You know, was I okay being the person paying rent? Do I want to be the person that eventually buys land, builds, sells? And then when you keep looking at that, there's people who just come into work, right, that I was paying as the tenant or as the store owner, right? So then you have the intern, you have the part-timer, the full-timer, and so they're in a certain place. And these things aren't based on hierarchy. It's not that somebody's more important than the other person, but there is a different mindset, there is a different load of responsibilities, there's a different level of investment, right? And so when you understand that